Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or bring. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king.
Most traders drown in charts and still miss the real levels. Get clear daily roadmaps for the S&P 500 futures. Levels, setups, and strategies that matter. Delivered straight to your inbox pre-market every morning. Subscribe now on Substack. Conquer the markets.
Hey, what's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. It is March 24th. And, once again, we nailed it right off the rip, guys. I mean, I say this every day, but God, it's nice to have a structured plan. I'll say that. We're going to go over everything today. And my man Bryce is here. He made us $1,000 as usual. What's up, Bryce? Christopher, David, good to see you guys. I'm glad you guys all made it. People are starting to come in now. Everybody knows I got this little beginning intro thing. Sorry for being late today, too. I'm actually going on vacation for the weekend, taking my wife to we're going to go to Fort Lauderdale. And so I got a dog walker coming and had to do that whole number here. So anyways, I appreciate you guys showing up and bearing with me for being a little late today. We got some good stuff to share with you today. I'm going to start talking about Emergent Edge with you guys, which is a product that Rob has developed, or Rob and I have developed. Really Rob, it's kind of Rob. It's pretty much really Rob. But we've developed some things here that I think you guys are going to be super impressed with. Got the website up and going, and we're going to start taking some pre-orders soon. So I kind of want to start talking about this because this is going to be huge. This is going to be a game changer for everybody. It's obviously, Team Vici members come first. You guys have paid your dues. You're here, and you guys have first priority because there will be limited seats. So what's up, Raj? Good to see you, bro. Absolutely. So, guys, we're going to get into it today. It was kind of a muted day, but, I mean, even with the muted day, we still called every turn, every move. It was a little ridiculous. It's starting to get a little crazy. I mean, at some point I'd like to, listen, I know this sounds terrible to say because it sounds very conceited, but I like to be wrong sometime? No, I really wouldn't. I wouldn't want that. Because you guys are totally banking off of these, but God damn, are the plans so good or what? I know that you guys love this stuff. Catch me if you can. Nice to see you. Pleasure. We're going to go through every little twist and turn. And I'm actually doing something a little bit different now in the room, guys, just to let you know. So I started streaming in the Discord room. As the audience is starting to grow, we are just absolutely killing it on Substack here, by the way. I don't know if you guys realize how massive this exponential growth is. It is going insane. I'm getting 2 or 3 paid subscribers a day, and we're getting, a dozen or more free subscribers. I mean, we are just experiencing like exponential growth. People are talking, people are sharing. Some of my posts are starting to go a little bit low-key viral. My average post gets 300, 350 views. I'm getting a couple thousand now. The word is starting to get out and people are excited about what we're doing. And so I am super excited to share it with everybody. This shit just gets me fired up. And so what I've started doing in the Discord room is now on Tuesdays through Fridays, I'll be streaming for the crew from basically 9 to noon, which is awesome. Everybody loves it. We had probably 20 people in there today. It was great. But also with that being said, I don't, before I had all this awesome material because every time something happened, I'm typing, look at me, I'm typing and I post the pictures. And so I had all kinds of pre-made material to work with. Now I went back through my channel today and I was like, man, where's all the goods? I basically talked about everything live and in person. So I didn't capture a bunch of pictures. So anyways, with that being said, you got to bear with me. This is going to be a learning curve for me as well. So let's go ahead and get into it as usual. Guys, you already know what to do. Follow me across all these socials. If you haven't, do it now. Ryan Bailey Edge, YouTube, X, Substack, TradingView. Do it now, right now. Stop what you're doing. Go do it right now. And if you have done it, share it with a friend. Because I'll tell you what, we are just absolutely murdering it. The plans are great. It's $2.50 a day, you guys. It's just ridiculously cheap. And the quality is top notch, if I do say so myself. I usually don't like to brag very much, but it's hard not to when we go back through and we look at everything. Just absolutely unbelievable. And I'm very proud of the work that I put in. And I'm proud of my team for executing the way they're supposed to. It's just absolutely phenomenal. I say absolutely a lot because it's absolutely crazy. If you're in the Discord room, our scoreboard is constantly lit up with profits, and it makes me so happy. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right into it now. Let's go ahead. I thought I had something else I wanted to talk about first. Oh, yeah, the TradingView thing. Listen, guys, I'm getting a lot of SPX people flowing in. I made some new indicators. There's one TWAP. It's called the TWAP Edge, S&P TWAP Edge. If you guys do or don't know, there is no VWAP for SPX. I went ahead and made an indicator. Basically, the institutions use. We use it at the fund when I was there. It is time-weighted average price. This is a big deal, guys. If you are a value trader like I am, and you're always trying to figure out where value is at with SPX, this is a phenomenal indicator. I'll just show you how this works real fast so you get an idea. We actually have the monthly, weekly, and daily TWAP values here. Obviously, the monthly is pretty big, and so it kind of shrinks the chart up. But let me go ahead and get rid of that, and I'll show you what's up. So let's go ahead. Boom. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the weekly as well, just because we've been running kind of close together here. But there you go. So you can get an idea. This is very much just like our normal VWAP. You can see we pretty much stayed inside of value today, the time-weighted average price. When we did push out, they were able to get sucked back in, come back down into the first standard deviation and kind of float around. This looks just like our normal VWAP that we use for ES or that you would use for SPY, et cetera. And this is a phenomenal indicator, guys. It's free. Just go get it. The other one is the levels. If you guys are not using this, you certainly should be. Absolutely good stuff here. I think it's right here. So this is it. This is the S&P Edge trade plan companion. You just pull the string right off the plan, put it in here, and it draws it for you. All you have to do is put all the string right in here like this, whoop, and it draws it for you. It's everything that just fresh charts, put it in, boom, now you're ready to go. And it's just unbelievable. And look, I'm going to go ahead and just say it before I get into it, right? Look at this. Sweet ass spot down here, the daily and the put wall. We took this long. We had the 33, the big resistance area, as you guys know, kept a lid on things. Boom, 81 up here played perfectly. The daily at the end of the ordeal. Boom, that's what's up. Christopher wants to know what happened at 421. Well, Chris, I'll be honest, I wasn't here, but I looked in the room and I saw that there was apparently some ceasefire talks for Iran. From what I gather, is what it looked like. Guys on the news said. It says ceasefire. Yeah, basically ceasefire. That's all I got out of that. So you have to do a little bit more research on your own, but it looked obviously some more headlines. And, the thing is we talked about this, and I'm going to get into it in the plan with this. Again, I'm still pointing down, right? Higher time frame says we're still pointing down. But as you guys know, we've talked about it for days. I do truly believe we're going to squeeze and go higher. Even today, I was like, man, we should go higher. And they just couldn't get it done. And then, of course, we had the headline that pushed us higher. I truly think we're going to come test this leg, but we'll see what happens. We'll get into that today. We talked about it yesterday. If you have not watched the post-market breakdown yesterday, you could skip right to the end if you want. I get into exactly the levels and where I think what's going to happen and what we're going to do. And we'll talk about it a little bit today, but yesterday was pretty detailed. So let me go ahead and get into the trade plan right now. And then we'll skip into some important announcements that I'm going to make here. So Guys, here we go. This is right in the trade plan title. Look at this, the 66.33 line in the sand. As you guys know, that was our big above level today for 90% of the day, right? And then we had our 65.8150 floor, which proved to be very fruitful today. Pretty unbelievable. I actually talked about this level in the post-market breakdown yesterday. And so let's just get into this. So price pushed down and held our very significant 65.81 last night, the lower end of our support, only to traverse right back up into our 66.33, right? But they're failing to push above that level, and it's going to be our line in the sand today. I think that was pretty fair to say here. So this is the other thing that I pointed out yesterday in the post-market breakdown, and we talked about it heavily in the stream. We have the double value area acceptance level. So price was sitting below the 66.33 daily and the 27 weekly. It is our double value area lows that's been keeping a lid on things overnight. These two levels represent our midpoint pivot and the line in the sand for the day. Below this, we remain suppressed. I think we obviously saw that was pretty much the case 90% of the day. And if they set back above that, we could push higher. But as long as they remain below these double value area lows, that we continue to remain range bound. And that is exactly what we saw today. And just to kind of make it clear for you guys what I'm talking about, this is the weekly TPO, guys. So this right here, let me back up a little bit. This is, hang on. This is 2 weeks ago, and this is last week. This is last week's previous weekly value area low, and this is the week before that's value area low. So this is a massive overlapping value area. If we were to combine these, this would make one massive profile with roughly the same value area low. The key here is if they can start to accept value back inside or start to accept price back inside the 66.33 area, we will rotate all the way back up and fill this in. Now, the thing is we all know that they popped up here and they played the 67.49 to the tick pre-market on Monday. So they actually did this on Monday. But the thing is the cash session doesn't count any of that. These are cash session players. They want their piece of the action. And so it is my professional opinion that we will continue to push higher. As you can see, we closed at 66.4625, which means that we could continue to accept and push higher, especially on some ceasefire news. So kind of exciting to see everything play out like we thought. At least starting to for now. Also, guys, I had some pretty big data that came out on, what was it? Some pretty big data that came out on Monday, I think, actually. I didn't even add this in. Let's look. Hang on. I think this was Monday. Yeah, so look at this. So I know this is like hard for you guys to see. Here, let me just open this. So I had some data that came out. As you guys know, I'm a big data whore. I'm constantly, I have all kinds of stuff that's daily pulling in 150 different types of indicators and, essentially different scenarios and combines them and figures out, when's the last time this happened. And so we had a massive oversold signal on Thursday and Friday. As you guys know, I put one out on Friday. We were preparing for the squeeze. It happened, 250 points. Then yesterday, we had another one come out. It was basically the same. Before, it was 2 oversold signals. Now we had 9, or it was 18. Now it's 9. So we're starting to get a little less oversold. But even with that being said, we have a massive 100% win rate on 10 days out. And even though it just says like some crazy numbers here on average, I'm not really looking at that. I'm looking at more of the worst 10-day outcome, which is still plus 3%. That is a 100% win rate, guys, at a plus 3%, right? So, best case is 21%. I think that's a little extravagant. That's probably the COVID lows or something crazy. But regardless of the fact, guys, what we're talking about here is this is a 100% hit rate with over 30 years of data on the 10-day. Again, this is not something that we're looking to happen yesterday. But given the fact that, I'm already thinking we're going to squeeze. I already think we're going to go to the leg end. I honestly think we're going to come into the 67, 80s area. With all that being said, 3% actually puts us exactly there from yesterday, which is pretty incredible. I believe this even says a price here somewhere. Maybe it wasn't this one. Doesn't matter. Not important. So anyways, with that being said, we have a lot of reasons to believe that we can continue to push higher, and we are starting to do exactly that. So my final thoughts here, guys, and this is behind the paywall if you guys are getting the trade plans. This is my final thoughts after I go through everything, because this is me. I'm talking. I dictate all this. It takes me 20 minutes to do this trade plan. I just talk into my recorder, and then I have AI spit it out in a nice little format. But, I kind of go over it in my head here when we're all done. And again, we have not gained on any time frame, weekly, daily, or 4 hour. Point blank simple. But I've talked to you guys how this is the progression that we do. We go down, we make new lows, and then once we make new lows, they grab buyers, we come back up, we traverse the leg, and we smack the highest untested, which is why I think we can go to 67.80s. Okay. So with that being said, even though we haven't gained on any time frame, and I'm very much committed to the high time frame downside, we have no reason to believe it will continue. We were still holding strong in the overnight session above 65.81, which you guys know I told you was like death below that, and it's going to be important for our above below in the morning. So even though I'm still pointing down, I'm kind of letting everybody know, this is how I'm feeling. And this is why the post-market breakdowns really come into play, because you get an idea of like my thoughts, because it's hard for me to put it all in the trade plan when still, it's like I'm trying to be a genie here, right? I'm calling levels and calling thought processes before the market even opens. So what's up, Zook? Good to see you, homie. So our line in the sand is 66.33. The weekly as 27. The double value area we talked about. They really need to accept back above 33. But more importantly, guys, and this is something that we've been in for weeks, something that you really have to remember, we are still in negative gamma territory. That means dealers are still hedging to the downside, right? So when they're hedging to the downside, we have a lot of force to the downside. This is why these squeezes happen. And ultimately, we have a lot of rotation. I love negative gamma territory because money is made in both ways, and a lot of times it's made quickly. We are in positive gamma territory, usually relative volume super low. We just grind up all day, and it's like such shitty trading. But negative gamma gives us the juice that we're looking for, which is so much fun. So again, we are in negative gamma territory, and we have gained no support, and more than likely money will be made in both directions. But again, here I threw it out right here for you. As the oversold data suggests, we could have a pop in store for us still, right? So I don't really know what's going to happen. I just know the levels. I know what the data tells me. And so I try to convey this the best way I can for you guys. Chris wants to know, how do I handle stop loss levels to establish position size? Well, Chris, every single trade that we get into is pre-planned. We know exactly what levels we're going to take before the day even starts. And so we can size appropriately for our risk to reward right there, right? So generally what I do, even in this volatility, is I do a 5-point stop and somewhere between a 10 and 15 point target, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, something like that. If I need to open it up a little bit, I will. But for the most part, 5 points usually does it. But, with the volatility, things can change. But again, like I said, every single level we have, every trade we have is pre-established. You can go into the day saying, this is where I want to do business. Here's what I'm willing to risk. Here's how I'm going to size to do it. And here's my targets. And that's why the plans are so beneficial, because there's no guessing here. There's no reactionary stuff. We don't care about the news. We only care about when it happens. So Cole, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. So we're going to go ahead and get right into VIX right now, guys. All right, so check this out. This was kind of cool. I pointed this out for everybody in the room. We talked about this 2470 monthly pivot. Now, guys, this is the 2470. As long as we stay above this, we remain suppressed. We've talked about this so many times. I'm almost tired of talking about it with you guys because it's probably getting a little redundant here. But it's true. And this is what we're going to keep an eye on. But I thought it was really interesting this morning. I talked about this 2875, which is the former ceiling and provided massive resistance. And we really needed to watch this daily here. Well, look at what it did. It was like a pretty sweet ass head and shoulders. They ended up getting a very nice reaction for most of the day, which actually gave us a little bit relief in the morning for our long, which I'll show you. And I'm curious, especially with this pop that we just had. Obviously, VIX is closed right now because the market's closed. I'm interested to see if this is going to be much lower once we open because, just because. And, we made the new low. After popping the high, we made a new low. We come back up, we play the shoulder. Generally, this will cave in. So we'll see what happens. I mean, VIX needs to come down and really be underneath 2470 if we're going to make our push higher, which I'll get into here in a little bit. So as we started the morning, we came into the day, and I'll just show you, this is what the cash session chart looked like, right? So this is our 75 level, our 81 daily level. We talked about the put wall at 72 today, which we're going to get into in the very, very first. I just wanted to show you what this looked like. We basically opened outside of the previous day's range. This orange line right here was the previous day's range. And we have some serious statistics that tell us that we, depending on the day, depending on the size, what is the probability of getting back to this level? And that's really where Edgeful comes into play. And you can see right here, guys, we had touched the daily at 65.75. And you can see I'm already long. But why are you long, Ryan? Tell us why you're long. Well, let me show you what's up, right? So check this out. This is straight out the trade plan. This is what everybody in the room took this morning that was on the stream. I know Bryce took this. He made $1,000 with a quickness and got up out of there. I was a little jealous about that. I made some money too, but I had to stick around. So again, here we go. The untested daily sweep setup, 65.72 to 65.75. We have a put wall at 72 that can provide some additional support. We want to watch for this level to play and get back above the 4 hour at 98 and could produce a sweep at the overnight low of 82 and potentially squeeze. Well, as you can see, we came right down here. We played the 75. We actually got a little bit closer, a little bit deeper into the put wall here. And as soon as we started to get back above the overnight low at whatever this is, 80, and then the daily at 82, I was pretty clear that we were starting to push higher, so I immediately got long. I got long 2 contracts here, made some great money, took the first one at VWAP, and as you can see, I was looking to basically get back to the yesterday's low, which is exactly the statistic that Edgeful gave us today. There was an 86% probability that we were going to hit 66.16. And I couldn't deny those numbers, especially coming off of a level that was in the trade plan. This was a setup that we had anticipated. I love when they open on outside days like this, especially when we open below, because the indices ES is a naturally bullish by design. And so when we gap above, the odds of actually coming back down are much lower than gapping below and going up. It's just the way it works. Because there's funds that do long onlys and the whole 9 yards. It's just by design. So this was a phenomenal play. Everybody in the room made money. I made some great money. This was good stuff. You could see my targets, my entries. I mean, I made almost 30 points on this second one here, and it was phenomenal. So we actually played this a few other times. It went much higher actually, and I'll just go ahead and show you here. Here's a little bit closer view on the 15-minute. Same exact reading here, but you can see we poked through. This was the put wall down here, guys. This was the daily at 81. We started to push above it, and we came all the way up to the 66.33. This paid 50 points. 50 points. And Edgeful gave us the data to at least take it to the 35-point mark, which I was very happy about, because I got to tell you, there's something nice about having that data when you sit back and you're like, damn, is this thing going to go? And you're like, let me look. Hang on. Wait a minute. 86% chance that's going to go. I got to try it. I mean, it really helps me a lot. I mean, as you can see right here, look, I actually liked this data so much. I built indicators for Sierra charts and bring over their data manually once a month and put it in here so it pops right up on my screen. I mean, that's how much I appreciate these numbers. It's a game changer. And we talked about this in the stream today, guys. If you have a process and you don't know the statistics, that's not a process. Okay. I mean, anybody can guess that the market's going to go up or down and be right a handful of times. But at some point, if you don't have the math, if you don't have the numbers, you are going to fail. It's just how it works. It's exactly the way I designed my system. I know exactly which trades basically have a high statistical probability of winning. And, that is why every trade that I pull out for you guys seems to be a winner. This isn't by chance. This is by design. This is a system that has a statistically proven edge, and we use data to help us refine the statistically proven edge. And that is really what creates winners and creates long-term profits. I mean, hedge funds, first off, they don't even use technical analysis. They don't give a shit about any of that. What they care about is statistical probabilities. Are the statistics in their favor? What are the odds of this happening? Is it high? Cool. Let's do it. And that's how it works. And that's what you should be doing with not only your system, but obviously your everyday trading. And that's why it's important to journal and figure out, what am I doing wrong, what, et cetera, et cetera. So again, I won't go down that rabbit hole, but that is essentially why our system is so good, because I have already done the heavy lifting. I've already done the hard work. Everything we have here is backed by data, and statistical probabilities are in our favor. So good stuff. All right, so not to beat a dead horse here. So check this out. So this is an RTH chart, guys. I wanted to pull this up for everybody because I thought it would be really important for everybody to see. So this is right at the beginning. This is our trade plan. You can see our massive midpoint pivot is 66.3325. and the weekly at 27. And then the floor is the tested daily at 65.81. As long as the daily remains below 67.87, we remain bearish. Okay, cool. That's no problem. We got that. And we got the line in the sand here, right? This is our massive midpoint pivot, double at value area lows. Been keeping the lid on things. Price has been failing to push above this area. If price fails and rejects here, watch for a move back below 65.98 for continuation towards the floor. You guys remember what the floor was? 81, 75, 81. So check it out. I thought it'd be fun to show you guys. We had our put wall. We had our 81. We had the 75. Clearly a nice hit. We come up here. We rejected multiple times. And then and this was the 33, as you can see, in the 27. So I just wanted to show you guys exactly, how this played out today. And, we had this massive push up. We come here. We basically get rejected. We come down. Get rejected again, come down. And of course, this is the cash session chart. Things have changed a little bit since the post-market, which we'll take a look at here really soon. Sebastian, nice of you to join us, my friend. Pleasure to have you. All right, so on to the next one. So unfortunately, again, I called this out in the room, and this is going to all come into play here, as you'll see. So this was the 65, 99, 75. I would have normally had the text to back it up, but I actually called this in the stream today, and this was really important. And the reason that I wanted to show you this is not because I called the trade. That's irrelevant. We do that all day long. But really, what was the catalyst that took us up into the 81 level? So the 81 level is something that was in the trade plan. I actually was talking with a gentleman about that in the room. At the end of the day, you guys will see that we had the 66.81 daily. It was a tested daily, and I put it right here. Hey, we're going to get a head bump, right? Call it for you in advance. We're going to get a head bump, right? So it's a tested daily. It sits with a put wall at 73. It would not surprise me to get a reaction here and a pause. Be aware of this area. If we push into it, the 81 could merely be a head bump on the way higher, and that is in fact what we did. We got a nice little head bump, and it was more than a head bump. This thing actually smacked for about 30-some points. If you look at it, we got a really nice pullback here at the end of the day, actually 40 points from 66.40 back to 46. Now, I call it a head bump because for me, this is still progression. We're back above 33. As long as they hold this, we'll continue to push higher into our other areas. So let's see here. Let's look at what Sebastian's talking about. Questions about AI. Do I use it for coding on Sierra? I think it's a great platform. Yes, I do use Claude a lot. It is amazing. I use it for TradingView code. We use it for here. I mean, it has changed the game. It's taken a guy like me who is not a savvy programmer, who's still basically in the beginning phases, and turned me into a beast. I'm a fucking beast now. Vibe coding. I'm in there. How much for the play in the Discords? Check it out. Go to the Substack. You can check it out in there. Actually, the plans are $50 a month. If you're interested in joining us in the Discord room, it's $150 a month, and you can actually do an annual plan and save a little money there. So you can check it out in the Substack subscription area. So let's get back into it. So guys, I want to show you the overview for the day. Check it out. So these are our big major levels, just to show you guys. This was our big 81.72 down here. This is our 33 spot that we kept bumping up on today. And this is our 81. We had our high, our low, and our midpoint pivot. I try to call these out for you guys every single day so that you guys know exactly the areas that we play, looking for the extremes. And as you can see, the highs and the lows played absolutely perfect. And yes, we did get some amazing reactions, especially on 33 with the first touch here. But at the end of the day, we had a strong feeling that we were going to push above this anyway. So this was super exciting stuff. Yep. So with that being said, that's what's the deal for the plan today. Now, I've got some other exciting news for you guys. I want to share this with you. Let me pull this up, and I'm actually going to show you some stuff that I haven't even looked at. Okay, this is really. I hope I don't embarrass myself, Rob. I hope you're watching. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. I don't know, but this is for Rob. So you guys, so check this out. I'm going to go ahead and pull this over for you. So as you guys know, Rob has been heads down for weeks, actually months. He hasn't even been trading. Rob is the quant in the group. For those of you guys, actually, you know what? Let me check this out. He never shows his face. He's going to be pissed when I do this, but this is my man Rob right here, guys. Rob is a monster on the mass scene. Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, MTV. That's old school shit. So Rob is a beast, you guys. So Rob actually has his MBA from Yale in mathematics. He worked for the Air Force. He was actually working on laser beams and on spaceships in the Star Wars program. How he ended up with me, I have no idea. I'm going to consider myself fortunate. I don't even know why he likes hanging around me. We talk. He talks a different. This guy's on the spectrum over here. He is way out there. So Rob is the man when it comes to mathematics. He is just absolutely unbelievable. And so this is really his baby. Just to let you guys know, I actually create most of the strategies, and Rob fine tunes them and makes them profitable. Rob has created something that is absolutely unique in this space. We have the industry's only institutional grade back tester. Rob has actually spent the past few months of his life, actually probably the past few years of his life, developing this strategy or developing this back tester. We can do institutional grade back testing for futures. And I'm not talking about shit that you see on TradingView or NinjaTrader or TradeStation. Those are all shit. You don't know anybody. I bet you $1,000 you don't know anybody that's back testing something on TradingView that's just killing it out there. It's not going to happen. And the reason for it is because the tick data and everything is you're not getting accurate reads. And so he has actually developed something that he had actually developed it for us, so him and I could go fully automated. And it was such an amazing product that I really wanted to bring it to the forefront for people. So, this is, we're basically doing, 1 million plus Monte Carlo simulations. We pull in CME raw tick data, and he's, testing this going back all the way 3 to 5 years for every strategy. I mean, this is really truly the gold standard of institutional grade testing. This is stuff that Citadel is doing and Blackwater and all these huge companies. This is the kind of product that he's made here. And we also have regime and news filtering, and he's incorporated some machine learning into this. It is absolutely unbelievable. It auto optimizes in the whole 9 yards. So I'm giving him some major props here, guys. We are doing things way outside the difference, of what retail is doing right now. But the nice part is we're actually bringing it to retail, which is super exciting. And for those of you guys who have tried to do automated strategies before, you probably know you run a back test on NinjaTrader. It takes like 18 hours. This shit is so powerful. It's doing it in 30 to 40 minutes. Just unbelievable processing power here. Guys, he spent a couple of years developing this. It is 800,000 lines of code. 800. It's hard for me to even wrap my head around. Just absolutely unbelievable. So here's the deal. We're actually going to be launching this in April, and we have 2 strategies that we're going to be releasing. I'm going to show you all the data on those right now. One's called Emergent Edge 15, and the other one is called Emergent Edge Scalp. You can take a look at least 15 online. You can come in here and check out everything here. And then again, we'll be doing pre-orders here probably in the next couple of weeks or so. But this is actually going to be yours. We're going to actually give you the DLL file. We're going to help you set it up on Sierra Charts. And then you can turn it on and off however you feel pleased. You can adjust the sizing, the whole 9 yards. Right now, these are all set up for ES. Okay, guys. And so let's just go ahead and get into it. This is exciting stuff. So Emergent Edge 15. This is our first model that we are running. Rob and I are currently running. This is going to be released in April. This is going to be great stuff. So this is a 2-year back test. This thing has done over 120% in the past 2 years on the back test here. And the best part about this is, well, not the best. There's a lot of best parts about it, but check this out. The Sharpe ratio is 2.52. 2.5. That is institutional if I ever saw it. This would make a hedge fund super thirsty. Not only that, but the best part about this is, what I loved about it is, first off, this is set up for micros, by the way. We set this one up for micros because, people have smaller accounts, right? And so you could actually run this on a $10,000 account. And it's dynamic, okay? It only trades during cash session, right? And it only takes a trade before 11 o'clock. It will only take a trade in one direction, one time per day. And so sometimes, depending on the day's volatility, you could get a long and a short, so a max of 2 trades per day. But generally, we're getting only 1 trade per day, and sometimes it's only 3 to 4 trades per week. But this thing is a straight beast. So look at this. Each trade, so whether it's win or loses, because it wins so much, the gain on it is so big. So just to let you guys know, our first target on this is 2R, second target is 3R, okay? So with that being said, every trade this thing takes, you have an expectancy of making $78. But the most beautiful part about this is the max risk on this on this is actually $320. It's the most it can lose, period. So it's dynamic sizing. Rob has made it. He actually has a special, I'm just going to call it a proprietary, let's just call it a trend, like a moving average or a super trend indicator, right? So based on how close price is to this indicator or this moving average is how it figures out the dynamic sizing. So if it's really close to it, it knows that it can put on 10 micros. If it's really far away, sometimes it can only put on 2 or 3 micros, right? And so it automatically does the dynamic sizing for us. And that's why this equity curve looks so good. But the max risk is $320. It actually caught a 3R trade today on the push up today. So that was pretty exciting. And here's the cool part, right? So your average loss, $170. Your average win, $368. Very excited about this. And the max drawdown, guys, the max drawdown, look at this, only 7.89%. And that is not from your equity peak or from your equity balance. That is from the peak. And that was in the beginning of 2025. You can see the pull down here, and then it just dug itself out of a hole and put up another 100% profit. So just some unbelievable stuff here. Rob has outdone himself. You can see this massive equity curve and the drawdown here. But here's where it starts to get exciting, right? Because for me, it's all about the data. It's all about the numbers. This is what the monthly returns look like on this bad boy here. We literally, have massive amounts of green months, but you can clearly see this is a real strategy. I mean, it even has a few down months. Yeah, one was 4%, one was 1%, one was 3%. But as you can see, we have much more green than red. And obviously some of these are massive outliers, 12%, 9%, 10% months, just awesome stuff. So couldn't be more happy about this. Rob really did a great job. We are advertising this to do roughly 30% returns, even though our backtesting data shows us that in 2024, this did 53.7%. And in 2025, it did 45.8%. Just unbelievable numbers this thing's putting up. Just could not be happier with this. He has really dialed this in. He's been working a long time on this one because this is our flagship. This is the first one that we're going to release, so it's got to be good because first impressions are the best impressions. So this is a Monte Carlo simulation, guys. This is cool stuff here. For those of you who don't know what a Monte Carlo simulation is, this is institutional grade backtesting stuff here. Okay, so how this works essentially is you want to see. So first off, here's how Monte Carlo simulation works. You basically take all your trades and you mix them up. And if it's still profitable, you have a good trading strategy. I did not know this until I was dealing with Rob. You can actually have a nice winning streak. But if you take those trades and you put them out of sample, you mix them all up, there's a possibility that you won't make any money. And I didn't realize that. So sometimes the trades you get lucky and they fall in the right order. But what Rob basically has taught me that the Monte Carlo simulation essentially mixes these up. As you can see right here, we took 637 trades and we did 1,000 different simulations. So 1,000 different orders, mixed them all up. The worst performance it did was it made $40,000. The best performance was $71,000 with a median of $55,000. That is over the course of 2 years. And guys, this is trading 2 to 10 micros. Pretty unbelievable stuff. So this is I am super proud of him. I'm super proud of us. This is going to be a game changer for us and you as well, because we're already running full auto in the background. And, somebody made a good point to me, bro, you can make money from the back of a jet ski. I'm like, I like that. That's what's up. I like that. Yeah, Raj, we're going to allow back testing of your own strategies. Yes, we are going to actually do that. I will eventually have something on the website where you can submit your strategy, etc. Rob will call you for a consultation and talk it over with you. So the answer is yes. We're not doing that today, but it is coming probably within the next 60 days. So guys, that was the first one. I really don't even need to show you the second one, but I'm going to. This is the one that I haven't seen yet. So Rob just sent me this 5 minutes before the stream turned on. Let's look at it. I hope I don't embarrass myself here. So this is actually a scalp trade. So this one that I just showed you, the Emergent Edge 15, only takes about 3 or 4 trades a year. And then here we go. So this is look at this thing. This thing's crazy. This thing takes about 5 trades a day, 4 trades a day. This is right now, it's set up to trade minis. It could trade micros or minis. It trades 2 contracts. And this thing is actually, believe it or not, it's a 1 point stop or a 1.5 point stop. and it looks to take a 2-point target and a 4-point target. And this thing is just printing. Oh my God, this thing's crazy. Again, another Sharpe ratio 252, profit factor of 126. And, as you can see here, I mean, we had a nice little drawdown here. It looks, what was our peak drawdown? Let's look and see. 64% win rate. That is fantastic. Where's our peak drawdown? I don't know where it's at here. Every trade it takes, you can expect to make $15. Let's see. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't looked at this yet here. This is my first time. So let's go into the next one. Let's see what the next one holds. There you go. Max drawdown, 8.5% from the peak. And it looks like it did not draw down at all in the beginning. It looks like this was the 8.5% once it was already almost a year into it, which is pretty attractive in my opinion. So that's good stuff. It looks like it had 25 consecutive wins and 10 consecutive losers. Nice job, Rob. Way to fucking 25 wins in a row is crazy, right? So here you go. Here's the equity curve. Again, you guys can see this thing's a beast, right? 2-point range breakout. This thing's unbelievable. And then let's keep going. Look at this thing. So this is the rolling Sharpe ratio. This is just how it uses your money wisely. And then look at it. In 2026, it's already up almost 6% this month already, or this year already. That's pretty awesome. So I didn't have the calculations for the other one, So like I was telling you, Sebastian, the other one was $10,000 for the first one I put out. This one trades full-size contracts, but you can have it trade micros. That'll be up to you, however you want to do that. So, feel free to hit me up via email or whatever, and we can talk about that. And then here, look at this. 2024, it did 54%. 2025 did 34%, and we're already up 6% in 2026 so far. That's super exciting, Rob. I hope you're watching this. This is our drawdown. This shows you periods of drawdown. Kind of cool how that he's got this all laid out for us here, and the drawdown periods and how long they lasted, so that you can kind of have an expectation of what to expect, which is pretty cool. And then again, the Monte Carlo simulation here, and how this is going to work. So look at this. This thing actually, the least amount that it made, over 3,300 trades. The least it made was 100,000. The most it made was 150, and the median is 129. So exciting stuff. I probably shouldn't have showed that one. We kind of went over our time there, but kind of gives you guys an idea of the things that we're working on over here at Vici. So we are just really trying to take the technology to the next level. Again, guys, trading's fun. It's awesome. I've been doing it for a long time, 20 years. I've been trading professionally for 10 futures ES. It is as much fun as I have. I got to be honest. I'd love to have a robot trade for me and trade from the back of a jet ski. I mean, that to me sounds like a lot more fun than sitting in front of my computer. I know everybody can probably feel the same way. And these kind of products are going to work beautiful for people who have normal jobs. You can have this work in the background while you're making your 9-to-5 check and kind of work on your retirement nest egg. I mean, that's what I intend on doing. I still will never stop trading. I mean, I've got a community full of people who count on me. I put it on a daily trade plan. But this thing is essentially how I'm building my retirement. Right. So, I spend my trading money on my family that I make daily and what have you. But this is the money that sits in the background. So hopefully you guys will be able to take advantage of this stuff, too. We're only going to do 25 seats on each one of these. So we will be taking pre-orders on this stuff when the time comes. And, I'll be putting out an announcement via email. So definitely stay tuned for that stuff. And that's where we're going to wrap it up with you guys. So I thank you all for showing up. It was an amazing day. We had a great trade plan day. As you can see, it was another tits, spot on, levels played, perfection. And I hope you guys are excited about Emergent Edge, because I've been excited to show it to you. So I am super duper excited about this next level of Vici Trading Solutions. So you guys have an excellent day. I will be here tomorrow at the same time, 5 p.m. We did 5 to 5:30. We ran over today by 15 minutes. And then, of course, you'll get your trade plan at 8:30 in the morning in your inbox. You guys have a fantastic day. Sebastian, I appreciate you coming in. Cole, Christopher, Catch Me, Raj, Bryce, David, you guys are all players. Thanks for coming. And all you on X and YouTube, be good. And tomorrow we shall conquer the markets. Cheers.